Hey guys, this is Beaver back at you with another video, and today is going to be a little bit different because I am currently recording this commentary from some random spot somewhere behind my cottage. Me and my brother went on a hike. We were looking to see if we could figure out where this lake is that's somewhere behind our cottage. Now we decided after we got somewhere back that we were a little too tired because we'll go into why in just a second, but we didn't end up getting to where we wanted to. Anyway, so today we had to carry these cupboards up the hill to my cottage, which you guys are going to see a picture somewhere right about now. And this hill was an absolute bugger to climb when you have to do it probably about 8 or 9 times we did by the end of this day. For the most part, the cupboards went fairly okay. You know, it was pretty tiring by the end of it. We sat down, we had a beer. We're probably going to go back and have dinner a little bit later. But right now we're in this random spot, and you guys are going to see a picture right about now. And we had just seen a porcupine. Pretty cool. I think it was probably one of the first ones my brother's ever seen. My brother being the same guy that was in my last video with that horrible show of gameplay. You hear him laughing right there. It was pretty bad, but what I think we might do is he's going to go get into a couple recording sessions, and I have a brand new series idea which, you know, I threw out there in that video, and it's been changed a little bit, but I think that you guys will enjoy it a little bit. You might get a little couple tips and tricks and a couple new things that you can learn how to do. But anyways, I'm going to tell you guys today just a little bit of a story that me and my brother have from one of the most recent cottage trips we went on. And this is a fishing trip story, and how my dad caught the biggest fish that he's ever caught. This was probably, I think it was a Saturday night when bass opened up. All you fellow Canadians, you'll understand when I say that bass opened up. It's the big weekend of fish. You want to catch something nice and big. You want to go back to work on the Monday and have this awesome fishing story to tell. Something, you know, I caught this huge fish, it was this big. Well, we didn't really get into any stories, but I do have this one, which is a pretty good one. Probably the biggest fish I ever seen anyone catch, but a little bit different than a normal story. So, we were fishing, and we were down this little tiny river, and my dad was getting a little upset because he wanted to fish somewhere out in the big lake. Because we were out there all day, so we thought we'd try something a little different, me and my brother. And my dad this is the first time we managed to drag him along. So he wanted to be somewhere else. So anyways, he caught I don't know, probably about 1.5 pound fish, Al? Yeah, something like that. It was about 1.5 pound bass. You know, it was small, but it was a half decent size. So I looked over, I looked at it and went, alright, you know. So me and my brother just cast our rods out again, and you know, he went to go take it off, and then all of a sudden I heard, "Ah!" And I turn around, and he's holding his arm out at full stretch with this fish hanging off of his finger. I guess what happened is he reached down to grab the lure, and the fish decided to kick at the exact same time. So he had the one hook in one finger and another hook through the fish's mouth, just hanging there with it dangling off his finger. You can imagine how awesome of a situation this was for me, because I was sitting there trying to contemplate if I should pull the fish off first, or if I should pull out my camera and start recording the video first. In the end, I ended up not recording it because the look to me was that was extremely painful. So we just decided to, in the end, take the fish off and get him to a hospital with this, since he had this hook lodged in his finger so far. So, this was actually the first weekend after I had gotten my new phone, which I'm actually currently recording this on, oddly enough. I found that there's probably an app for absolutely anything I could do, except for maybe a pair of tweezers from this thing. Anyway, so we got in the car about 8:30 at night when the sun was just about to go down. And we had to find this hospital that we had never been to. So my phone ended up again becoming the useful piece of equipment that it actually is when I used it as a GPS for the first time, which actually it was pretty complicated for me because apparently I'm half technically challenged. So we got to the hospital. Became me and my brother's piece of entertainment while we waited for my dad to get a hook removed from his finger that should never have actually been there in the first place. And then it became our GPS home, since it was absolutely pitch black and about 12 o'clock in the morning by this point. And then we got to the lake and went, oh, god damn it. Not one of us, in our rush to get out of there, had forgotten to bring a flashlight. And it was now about 12:30 at night and absolutely pitch black. How the heck do you get across a pitch black lake in the middle of nowhere? So, being the smart man that I am and remembering that, oh, I have a new phone, and remembered that, oh, there is an app for that. That is the definite answer to any of these situations. So, I found out that the flash on my camera, or on my phone, actually makes one heck of a bright flash. And it gave us probably about 50 feet of view, 50 feet, yeah, of clear space that we could actually see in this pitch dark area. So we got across, said to my dad, well, you ready for bed? He goes, well, my finger still hurts. So we had a couple beers and we had a good night, but that was probably one heck of a good fishing story. And he caught himself. That was the biggest fish that I've ever seen anyone catch. A good 210-pound fish.
I don't think he caught the fish. I think the fish caught him.
Yeah, I guess in that case, it was the biggest fish or biggest person that this fish ever caught. So, that being said, I'd love to hear some fishing stories you guys have or if anything like that. And remember, if you like this video, please remember to like, favorite, and subscribe. And it was a great time telling you this story, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye!